your house with O'Con. Hey, O'Con in your house. Hollywood in your house. Hypocrisy's head in the clouds. Curating all kind of loud. Wrestling in front of the crowds. Paragon's holding it down. Anybody can get it. Josh Joseph standing on his decisions. He is the voice. There is no choice. We is them boys in your house making wrestling noise. Moving fast just like cruiserweight action. In your house is the perfect distraction. Pumpers in your ears when you in traction. Get this work with some wrestling action. Smoke. What is up, guys? What is cracking? It's the Con Man, and I am in your house. And you guys already know the vibes. Anytime we slide on through, we're here to give you that work when it comes to this professional wrestling business. And guys, it is Sunday, and man, usually when we get to this point of the week, we're recapping a whole lot of wrestling. But not only are we recapping wrestling today, because there's a lot of wrestling to recap, whether it be AEW All In Texas. They had a big show yesterday, their biggest show, their longest show, but their biggest show. Then we had NXT Great American Bash, solid show across the board. We had Saturday night main event last night, which we got a lot of thoughts on. We're definitely going to discuss that. Then we look ahead to Evolution, and this is a big wrestling weekend that we had, ladies and gentlemen. We kicked it off with SmackDown, though, and usually when I'm talking SmackDown, I talk to my man. He talks all things SmackDown, hangs out in his room. Is the blue-eyed villain. That is the Grunmeister. What is up, man?
Yo, what is up? SmackDown was definitely an improvement from last week. Granted, anything would have been a better show than last week's.
It was a rough show. I know we talked a lot about it, mainly because of the crowd. They had that July 4th show that was taped, so they had Raw and SmackDown, and it just made for a really down show, but it did pick back up. We had a whole lot of things going down, and this past Saturday, we had the retirement of my next guy over here, his favorite wrestler. That's right. He loves him some Goldberg. And that's our producer of the show. That's the voice, Josh Joseph. What is up, man?
How goes it, household? How's everybody doing? I am super stoked that you did to join us here on your Sunday afternoon to talk some wrestling. So let's get into it.
Yes, sir. A lot of wrestling to talk. And like I said, SmackDown, most definitely an interesting vibe. I'll go ahead and let our guy Grun over here give you some of his highlights before we really dig deep into the action that was Saturday night's main event.
Yeah, so SmackDown, we had new tag team champions crowned, and unfortunately, yeah, it is the White Six. It is Dexter Lumis and Joe Gacy, who are the right choice to have win the titles. But as Josh has said, this is they keep saying they're not a tribute, a memorial group, where they still are. And I can't argue with him when they've literally done nothing to make us believe what they were saying when they say, "Oh, we're not a tribute group." Actions speak louder than words, WWE. The other, probably what I would probably say argue was the best match of SmackDown was Fatal 4-Way. Alexa Bliss, Roxanne Perez, Kairi Sane, and Sol Ruka, who hit a double Soul Sniper.
That was fire.
It was fire. It was fantastic. It just showed we got Evolution on paper. It should be a great show.
Yeah.
So, the Paul Heyman came out, talked his smack to LA Knight, and Logan Paul decided to troll the WWE Universe and the world in the biggest way possible by saying, "This is our industry, the Jelly Roll, and that we don't need influencers or celebrities."
I thoroughly enjoyed that. This guy talking like he's the freaking vet now or something like that.
Exactly.
Like, it was great. I love it. He just came out and And sorry to interrupt, but I just wanted to add on to that because I thought it was such a good segment, and I was just sitting there laughing with my wife, and I was like, "This guy, like, this dude's been wrestling for what? He's wrestling for a couple of years now. I'll give it to him, and I'll say this, he's good. He's damn good, but he just proved he's even better as a character as well. Because when he stepped out and was talking about like, we don't like guys like you coming in here, you singers, you influencers, this and that. I just thought it was great. He just took it and flipped it on him, and it just proves that, in my opinion, Logan Paul is really evolving as a character. We got the Lou in the chat. He says, "Happy Sunday, IYH." What a weekend for wrestling, man. Like I said, SmackDown was a vibe. Like you said, Grun, we do have new tag team champions, and it is, of course, the Wyatt Six. Now, I saw this coming a mile away. This is not shocking to me. I knew when they gave him the next match, I already knew that they was probably going to lose the titles because they're wanting to bring the Wyatts in as an element of chaos in this already stacked division. I don't know how they're going to make it work going down to 2 hours, but the tag team division is something that has been a topic of conversation in many different circles in professional wrestling because of how hot it is. Now you have the Wyatts as the tag team championships. Voice, what do you think about it?
I I don't know. With them, the thing that drives me nuts with the Wyatts is when they were making their coming back after Bray was out, they made it a very big point that it's not a tribute, but yet you've not left. It's like words have no meaning. Only if they piss you off is when we can use words as meaning. So I'm really annoyed with this decision because the Street Profits were doing fantastic as the tag team champions. They were doing great. The tag team division was doing great without the Wyatt Six. I'm just like, I don't understand the decision here. I get it. Some people do. I get some people fucking flip out for this shit. I don't. This is annoying to me. It's really taking up spots and taking away from others for me. But that's my personal opinion on it. Again, I can say I understand where other people are coming from. I get where your fandom comes from. Totally get it. I'm still a huge Bo Dallas fan. I just wish this was not how we're seeing him.
Yeah, I hear you. I hear exactly what you're saying. For me, it's always going to go back to the saying, if it looks like a duck and walks like a duck, it's a duck. So with that, for me, with that being said, I accept what it is. I accept what it is. I understand the whole, we've gone through this many a times, the tribute group, the them still being the tribute group. Listen, for me, they are who they are showing me. They are, in fact, still a tribute group, and that's going to be what they continue to be. I don't see any signs that they're pivoting out of this. Now they've been given the tag team championships in an already red hot tag team division. When you have teams like, the Street Profits, DIY, Motor City Machine Guns, even the lower cards, Los Garzas, which by the way, I like Los Garzas holding those triple A tag team championships and those being seen on WWE TV. That's a great thing. With the Wyatts, it's just something that I feel like I I will say I don't fully understand it myself either. And that's just me being honest because they did not they were just kind of like, "Hey, here you are. We're putting you in here." And this is a thing that doesn't make sense to me. When you have all those teams and you bring them in as an element of chaos, and then what is Uncle Howdy's role? It's they still feel mid card to me. Like I said, I don't hate the Wyatt Six. I accept them for what they are. They are a tribute group. So the way I work is that when I see something and I see it for what it is, until you show me something else, that's what you are. So there's no point in me going back and forth about it because you're showing me
Uh,
what you are. I don't understand it, but I know that's what's happening now.
it's
Once again, Smack. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say it's just like they're treating us like we're stupid. It's almost like the existing client list all over again. Like, don't treat me like I'm fucking dumb. It's a tribute group. We get that. you're going to sell more if you don't come out and have Bo going, oh, this is no tribute group. I'll tell you what. Shut up. Shut up. It is. And it's okay that it is. But for you to piss on me and then be like, nope, it's fucking raining. It's fucking raining. No, I don't want to be treated like I'm a toddler. This is supposed to be a grown-up group. This is supposed to be something that is for the masses, and it's not. They're just, I don't know. Maybe they'll change it around. Maybe they will. And I like what Chat Chief is saying. Hopefully the six don't bury the division, because it was cooking, and hopefully
So
it can stay cooking.
I completely agree. So I I can't see them keeping keeping the titles on them for too long, because they need to
No.
do something with them. And the fact is, I think I know exactly how this is going to go. I don't think it's going to be DIY. I don't think it's going to be the Street Profits, even though I'd be happy with either of those decisions. Motor City Machine Guns. I don't think it's going to be anybody except Andrade and Rey Phoenix, who have just been announced as an official tag team, the SmackDown Tag Team Division. I imagine they're going to put the titles on them at SummerSlam. Big moment. And then you can have DIY feuding with them, arguing that they don't deserve the tag team titles because they just showed up. And then you get a bunch of banger matches out of singles and tag team matches out of them. Banger matches with Andrade, Rey Phoenix versus Motor City Machine Guns. Pretty Deadly. Las Garza. So, like, there's nobody the Rey and Andrade can't work with.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
agree.
I gotta say, I like the idea of DIY being like the gatekeepers of the tag division. I enjoy that.
And did you notice Montez? Like, for me, I said it in the chat. He
Mhm.
totally took Dexter's venom for being this creepy dude away when he fucking did that slide and then went and got right in front of both of their faces. To me, you're nothing then. If another team does your supposedly very scary fucking crawling on your knees and coming up to me, if somebody else does that, you've done taken it away. You've taken the mysteriousness away from what it was Dexter Loomis in that moment. And he feels like he is just forcing shit. It doesn't feel natural with him. Like over there going, ah, shut up. We don't need you to do that. You're Dexter Loomis. We need you to be Dexter. We need you to be creepy as fuck without making a sound.
Yeah, that's what he was known for in NXT when he
Exactly.
was doing the whole creepy painter stalker gimmick or whatever it was, which honestly I liked. It was something different in wrestling at the time. I like what OG Tony is saying here. Wyatt Six need a down and dirty feud. Who can they get down and dirty with? That's my thing. I mean, like Voice is saying here, they got put in this tag team division. They got thrown in there in a division that is, I mean, I truly can't remember the last time the tag team division has been this deep. I mean, especially on one brand. You know, usually you could split it
Yeah.
between two brands, Raw or SmackDown, and like you could have 6 or 7 teams. It's not very often you have 6 or 7 teams on one brand
Yeah.
that can legitimately compete and give you a 4-star match on a weekly basis. You have that. That's
Yeah.
there. So what do the Wyatts need to do? What do they need to be there for? When you have legitimate great tag teams. We've already named them like 2 or 3 times, so there's no reason to do it again.
It's
I'll I'll
it's what
say
OG
this:
said.
Wyatt Six cost a lot, and they need for it to pay off. I get that. He's right. You're not wrong, Chat Chief. You're not wrong at all. But at the expense of my tag team division, though. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Exactly. That's where I think that's where a lot of our emotion is coming from, because we're all fans of tag team wrestling here.
yes.
And we're fans of every single team that they have there. It's like the women's division. There's
Hmm.
so much talent in the tag team division right now that you could do cool ass storylines, but
Hmm.
you're stopping that momentum. Like when we had all the tag teams backstage trying to figure out game planning,
Hmm.
how to take out this Y group, that to me was interesting, because the enemy of my enemy is my friend. You know,
Yeah.
things like that. So you're playing into all these really cool notions of humanity. But
Yeah,
then when you throw in fucking Freddy Krueger, oh wow, now we can't go to sleep. He might come and get us. Dude, shut up.
it's
I'm tired
lame.
of it.
It's lame.
I want
It's
this.
lame.
And you, everybody here who is a fucking OG of the household, you know this team was, every time they gave us a Wyatt six drop, we were fucking like shooting
On
up
top of it.
heroin, ready to go, trying to dissect it. We were so excited for this. We,
Hmm.
and Bo Dallas, everybody here was huge on him. But I
Thought that
feel
he was
that
going to have a bigger push.
exactly. And I feel that's where this is all coming from. It's just we expected this. We don't want something to die just so this goes. Like, stop.
I
Stop.
I, I don't know what else to say because I
No,
agree
you're
with
right.
it.
We
You know,
agree
I
on things.
no, I'm just saying I agree with you, bro. Like you're making good points, and when you come with that type of logic, I can't argue with it. I'm concerned about the tag team division just because of that very reason.
Yeah,
Um,
this
it's gonna be tough, man. We got our guy, the chat TV, saying 2025 Wyatt Six Universal Studios.
he's not lying. They got booked.
Yeah.
They got a
Re-
contract to do this. He's
really?
not
Wait,
like
what?
he's not joking.
Oh
He's
my
being
god,
he is dropping news
Oh,
in our chat.
dear God.
are
Yeah,
you
it's serious.
serious?
Yeah, they're doing a Wyatt Six type thing at Universal Studios this year. Tell me this isn't WCW of the mid '90s,
Oh
where they're
my
at
god.
amusement parks and shit, and you go, come and watch a WCW taping, and then you can go ride the old roller coasters. Like, come on, dude. Like, I I am so fucking annoyed with this group.
Oh man, it's in a tough direction. They gave him the tag team champions, which means that gives me even more idea to think they're gonna accept them for what they are, and we're gonna continue to talk about it. But let's pivot real quick because we got to stay with tag team divisions from SmackDown. I want to go to the women's tag team division right now. Grun talked about a really big Fatal 4-Way match that happened. I enjoyed this Fatal 4-Way. What came from it is Alexa Bliss winning and finding victory. And I said it on the Raw deal. I said it a little bit last week, and I'm doubling down on it. I enjoy what they're doing with Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss. It's a lane for them. It keeps them away from the top. It keeps Alexa coming back on TV because that was one of my biggest complaints is that you came, had the biggest pop at the Royal Rumble, then you wasn't on TV. You're carrying around a doggone doll. But the direction that they're going with the We're Not Friends, they're allies of convenience is what they're calling it. And Charlotte Flair is actively in front of my very eyes is what I can say, actively getting humbled in real time on TV. And I think that's what we need to see it happening. She can say all day in interviews, oh, I want to show more of Ashley. I want to be more humanized. Until we see it, we're not believing it. Well, I'm seeing it and I'm starting to believe it. Grun, where are you at right now with Charlotte and Alexa?
I gotta say, like, I don't like them doing this, making them a tag team. Like, I can sort of understand that they need a legitimate team that on paper means something for these other women to beat. So that that's great. I still don't like it. I like that if the idea is just to keep them away from titles and put over Sol Ruka, Zarya, put over the Secret Harvest, put over what other any other men's tag team that they might be putting together,
Mm-hmm.
or put them over. Great. I I am really hoping that that's all it is. I'm hoping it's not going to lead to Alexa and Charlotte winning the tag team titles. I don't want to see them win. I'm a big Alexa Bliss fan, but no, like right now they need to boost up the younger talent coming up.
You said something on this show last week. I think you brought up the idea of Soruka and Zarya winning the tag team
I
championships,
did.
and then that gives them an opportunity to not just defend them on NXT, which is their home brand, but it gives them an opportunity to defend it on Raw and SmackDown as well without officially getting called up. Soruka had a really good performance in that Fatal 4-Way. I knew she wasn't going to win, but I was like, I guarantee you they did not bring her on to this main roster in this Fatal 4-Way to not do a soul snatcher. And not only did she snatch one soul, she snatched two souls. So I definitely love the idea of seeing more Zoruka and Zarya on the main roster. But I do think they're investing something in this Charlotte and Alexa storyline. I truly do. And maybe I'm reading too much into it. Maybe I am. Maybe I'm being an optimist. Maybe I'm seeing potential that's not there. But damn it, I just believe that in my heart of hearts, they can be that when they finally get on the same page, which is a story that they're telling us, they're slowly starting to get on the same page, is that they can bounce well off of each other. I think that Alexa, who's somebody who used to do talk show segments as a tag team champion with Nikki Cross, and she brought Nikki Cross's funnier side out. I think that's one of Alexa Bliss's strengths is having people bounce off of her and maybe being a little bit more quirky. Maybe we see a more quirky, more humanized version of Charlotte Flair because she has Alexa Bliss to bounce off of. Do they need to win the tag team champions to tell that story? No, they don't. But I think that they're going to be in that conversation. And I think that we're going to be seeing this different version of what we saw with Bianca Belair and Naomi. Naomi, somebody that's a upper mid Carter to main eventer that is coming and tag teaming up with a perennial main eventer. You're kind of seeing the same thing with Alexa Bliss, somebody who's upper mid card and can main event, but now she's tag teaming up a perennial main eventer like Charlotte Flair. I think it's good for Charlotte. I think it's good for Alexa. But I've said enough. Voice, what are some of your thoughts on Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair?
This story's being told better over on NXT with Izzy and whatever her name is. More believable. I don't believe this. I'm not big on these two. That no, hidden feature here at IYH. I've spoken openly about my disdain for both of these female stars, I guess. I honestly sat back and watched NXT, and I was watching All In at the same time. And the story through Izzy, she's interesting, and
Mm.
she plays the Charlotte character in the story. Uh, Charlotte tapping Alexa on the head, Charlotte taking photos with Alexa wearing her cowboy hat with whatever the fuck was on it. I mean, do you need balls in your face all the time? I don't know, but to me, those are just photo ops. Those are just moments. Those aren't believable. Like you have to put some type of belief into it. And I know some people are buying it, and I get that. That's where you guys are at because maybe you haven't looked at it from my point of view as long as I have. I mean, that's everybody. Obviously, I'm just saying statements now. Um, but with Charlotte, the, I was such a huge fan of hers. I understood it because I was such a huge fan of her dad's. And to see the legacy of her father being carried by Charlotte was awesome. And it was awesome to see her be the first woman to do certain matches, to do this, to do that, to conquer mountains and everything. But when she came back, it was like a letdown. I cannot get that image of her not accepting in the middle of the ring, the fans booing her. I just cannot get that out of my head. I've tried and I've tried. It's like like with The Rock back in the day, there was a WrestleMania match in which he's on the outside and he gets hit. He doesn't start bleeding, but the camera focuses in on him and you see him pull out the blade and cut himself. That for me will never leave my mind when I think of The Rock in a match. He took that away from me. He took the belief in which I had of that character away. by me seeing how the sausage was made. And that's the way with Charlotte. I seen her genuine mind go, what the fuck do I do? They didn't do what I've been doing, what I've been taught, what I can just reach in the flare bag and pull out every single time. They didn't do that, and she didn't know how to pivot. And that'll get you cut from any great basketball team. You got to know when to pivot, and you cannot stumble like that, because fans like me, I'm an asshole, I'm a piece of shit, and I look at it for what entertains me, not what entertains the masses. And for me, I'm not buying this. Alexa did amazing though in that match. She really did. Like she she put on a performance. Uh, but are we getting? Let me ask you guys this: uh, Soul is the Soul Snatcher getting overdone? Because the reason I'm asking this is because I'm going off of what you were talking about with Rhea House. And you were
Mhm.
saying we're getting oversaturated because you don't even care if she wins. It's almost like, oh, okay, of course she's gonna win. Duh.
Right.
You know? So like I don't know. Because everywhere I see Soul, like that's what's being talked about with her. And she's good in every aspect of her in-ring performance. And I know that that move is new and everything, but I don't want her to be held to one move. Like everybody's like, "Oh, it is yeah." Like that's not, you're missing the greatness in Soul then.
In my opinion, I think the finish is part of the greatness. I mean, I think that that's the moneymaker right there. I knew, like I said earlier, I feel like that when we saw that she was in that match, in that fatal four way, I know for a fact that she wasn't going to win that match, but I knew for a fact I was going to see a soul snatcher. That's for sure. You know why? Because there's still a lot of people that haven't seen it done. Yes, you could say it's being oversaturated on NXT, and you might be right, but there's a lot of people that don't watch NXT. So when she did it on SmackDown, that was the first time a lot of people seen it. So I think right now, in my opinion personally, it's too early to say that it's oversaturated.
Okay. Well, I maybe I should phrase it. Do you see it possibly stepping towards that light if they
Yes.
Yes.
okay.
Mhm.
Yes. 100%.
Yeah,
A
you're
hundred
I
percent.
just
I could
don't want that to happen
no.
because
I understand.
I like what she does in a ring.
I love what she does, dude. I love what she does. No, does is the possibility there? Hell yeah, it is, because it's gonna be a thing where if she, let's say she comes to the main roster, right? And let's say that she's not telling any compelling stories. She's not, involved in any factions. She's not competing for titles. She's just going out there, and maybe they start using her to enhance other talent. And then at that point, we're going to be like, oh, she might not win, but oh, we got to see a soul snatcher. We got to see a soul snatcher. And then guess what? The finisher is more over than her winning or losing the match.
Mm,
That's when it becomes an issue.
Yep.
When
okay.
it's like, oh, when we have to see the finisher over you actually getting, victories, that's when it becomes an issue, because we don't want to hurt the trajectory of Sol Ruka by making her nothing more than a finisher.
No. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I mean,
So I agree with you, and if that's where you're going, I agree with you. I'm sorry, go ahead, Grun.
no. Like it needs to be a and Antonio Fry, our chat chief, he joked saying calling the RK Soul, which I doesn't sound like that bad of a name. Little nod to Randy Orton, and she's doing it her own way. Wait, but I think that might be try. Look at how Randy is. Randy is very technical. He's one of the best workers the industry has ever seen. And Solruka, we have to protect her the way that they protected Randy for years. I think she could, in some way, maybe be the women's version of Randy Orton, maybe in a babyface sort of way. But that finisher, while they're trying to get it over and make people remember her, they do need to protect that finisher, and they need to protect Sol Ruka from being oversaturated, from being just thrown on TV. And like Josh said, just make her, oh, she's got a cool finish.
Well, yeah,
To
I
add,
mean, oh, sorry.
I'm sorry. I just wanted to add to what you were saying. Both of you guys, actually, what they need to do, they need to give her a second finisher.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mhm.
I just don't want it to be like later in a couple years, someone challenges her and calls her the one move of doom. I don't want that.
Yeah, for
Because I don't
sure.
I don't think it's appropriate. But I do love the move. Don't get me wrong. I'm
I
not
think
saying I do not love the move. I
sure,
just don't
sure.
want it to be her sole thing, you know?
I get it. I
Agreed.
totally hear you. That's why I want to add like I said, give her a second finisher. And then we'll read Lou's comment. I have voice do, or I'll go ahead and do it. Give her a second finisher, because if you give her a second finisher that's not as poppy as the Soul Snatcher, and she finishes matches like that, then cool, you're in a good spot right there. Like, just give her something that she can do. To everybody, and let her do that, like maybe, I don't know, 3-4 matches in a row. Then in a more meaningful match, that's when it's like, okay, she's already done her A finishing move, because at this point this would be her most used finisher, her ace. You know what I'm saying? She's done it 3 different times. How can she possibly beat Jada Parker for the #1 contendership of the NXT Women's Championship? She's already hit finisher A 3 times. Oh my gosh, what can she do? Oh, runs off the rope. Bam! Out of nowhere. Soul Snatcher. Hook the leg. 1, 2, 3. Oh, she did a Soul Snatcher. We haven't seen
Yeah.
her do it in like 2 months. Oh my God. It got her to. Then at that point, you make it meaningful.
Yeah. It's like when KO had the pop up and then he switched to the stunner, and then it
Yeah.
was like he was winning with both, and it was like I I like that idea. I like that
Yeah.
idea.
Just a
Let's hit the
thought.
chat.
Yep. Let's hit that chat. We got our man, the Lou. He's saying Ruka and Izzy was his least favorite match from yesterday's show. He sees the move appeal, but not the overall wrestler appeal yet. Lou, you were there for both. Was he there for both those shows?
Yeah,
He was
Yeah.
there for both of them.
he was there for Saturday Night's Main Event. He was there for Great American Bash, and he's going to be there for Evolution tonight.
I
Ooh, so
guess Grun,
give some of your favorite thoughts.
do you know where you can find those pictures that Lou sends?
You can find them in our Discord.
Hey, yeah, there you go, fans. So check out our Discord. That's where you join us, man. The yesterday was one of the, and we got to say something because we're gonna bring him up here. Antonio Fry, chat chief. In all sincerity, man, thank you for being so active during our Discord with
Yes,
AEW, all that stuff, man. We highly
thank you.
appreciate you. And fans, if his first comment when he came in there is he has no idea how to use this. And last night he was switching up into rooms. it it's very easy. It may seem complicated, but it's our Discord. It's
So easy.
IYH. It's so easy. Even Howse had the same thing when we talked about it and we were bringing it up. He was like, I don't know, but we dove into it. It's slowly growing, but
Yes.
it's becoming the spot to be with IYH during PLEs. We're all in there. We're all talking. We're all having a good time. Kevin Calloway's in there. Grun's in
Yep.
there. House, me, Chat Chief. There's so many people in there. Thank you guys, and come join the Discord.
Yes, yes. We'll make sure to put a link in the comments here. Also, if you're a podcast listener, check out the last episode of the Raw deal with House and O'Neill. I added the Discord into our show notes. That's what I'm going to start doing. Is leave the link there in our show notes for the podcast version on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. The episodes are uploading again, and we're going to continue to upload them. So make sure you guys are listening to the podcast. Make sure you join the Discord, because every single time we have a drop, that's where we're dropping it at before anywhere else. That's our right now. The Discord is top and high priority right now. So that's where we're dropping stuff at the first time. So if you want to see what myself, Grun, Voice, Kevin Calloway, Annie O'Neill, anybody else who decides to pop in and be a part of these shows that's a part of this circle, you got to go to the Discord first because that's where we're dropping it first, ladies and gentlemen. So I just wanted to add on to what Voice was saying. But yes, it was a great, 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 great day for the IYH Discord yesterday, for sure, gentlemen.
Yes. Yes, I love it. I love all the interaction. There's so many more memes you can use at ease too. So fans, I highly suggest going there. Yesterday got wild, and Chat Chief is correct. He was cooking with grease yesterday.
Oh
It was
yes.
Yes,
amazing. It was a fun time. Even your son joined us, and he had a, yeah. There's also the NXT minute. Join there.
yes,
Alakon is there, or Olajuwon is there. We were in there talking back with him. He was going live
yes.
with NXT. Great discussions in there. So we really are pushing the Discord. So we hope you all come by and join it.
Absolutely. And we have the chat you saying Lou got to actually hear Goldberg's farewell speech. They did Goldberg so dirty. It was hilarious. We're going to talk about that here in a little bit when we get into Saturday night's main event. And then on the second half of this episode, I'm going to get my guys over here because I already talked about it with Annie. And we talked about it on the Raw deal with Howse and O'Neill. I'm going to get these fellas over here predictions for tonight's show Evolution. We'll talk a little bit about that. Grun is apparently a prick, and
Okay.
Fire Bars coming in. He came to our ECW watch along. Hey, I like Grun. He's a good guy.
Yeah,
He's the blue-eyed villain, man.
I I'm sorry, Fire Bars, but I don't think I know who. Thank you for showing up at the ECW watch along, but I don't know you, and I don't know what your. I don't know
He's like, what did
what
I
your. I
do?
like. I don't know where are you getting the idea that I'm a prick. Like, look,
Mm.
I like
I can
Grun.
be a jerk. I can definitely cross the line sometimes, but you're calling me a prick out of nowhere. It's like I'm
Hey,
What?
his
You
real
don't know
blessed
this guy?
dude.
Who
he
is this
called you a
guy?
prick.
He did call me a prick.
Macho Man agrees.
Oh man, we're having a good time here in your house. So, all right, we got to talk about Saturday night main event. We got to bring it up because, like Voice said, like he said,
We've
it's what
never
these guys
called
are
Grun a
saying.
prick.
So you on the bandwagon, huh?
He
Alright.
said he was.
Alright, I see you. I see you. I see you.
Oh man, but okay, all right. So we had Saturday night main event. It went down. We had NXT. It was a great, great show. And then we had AEW, which was a fun show. I really enjoyed that show for what it was. I
I
was a
liked
big
it.
fan of yeah, I was a big fan of like the Okada and Omega series. That's the fifth time they met. The Texas Death Match was fun. Not even gonna lie. Well, I'm not saying we got to go into so much AEW because spoiler for you fans out there. When we go to break, we have got my son who's going to be covering all things AEW, and that's his AEW recap. So we don't need to talk about that. But I did enjoy that show. It was fun. And then we got to Saturday night main event. And Saturday night main event was interesting, gentlemen. I mean, all right, here we go. Here we go. Because it's time for me to keep it real. We know Voice. He said what he had to say about the Wyatt Six. Don't disagree with him, but he was a little crabby. And now
Yeah.
I'm going to be a little bit crabby because this Saturday main event what just to me felt like an unbridled mess. I mean, it was an ad. It was just an ad riddled mess. And I get it. And like even you had people on social media because I was on X, I was on Facebook, and they were saying, I've never seen so many ads during the PLE. This wasn't a PLE. It was not a PLE. This was come on, guys. Come on, guys. This was not a PLE, guys. This was an NBC production. It was an ad-driven mess. I mean, my God, 4 matches. I think one of my favorite things that happened was the United States title match was fun, and then when they were highlighting Jade in the crowd talking about Evolution, and then I said to my wife, I promise, fellas, I said to my wife, you know what would be funny? If Naomi just came behind her and just attacked her during like like they're talking about her upcoming match, and then literally on cue, here comes Naomi, boom, gives her the baps. It was great. I enjoyed it. That was one of my favorite parts of the night. You got our guy Lou in here. You know, he's saying Joseph will hate me for saying this, but the Goldberg match was clunky, but better than I thought it was going to be. It was a Goldberg match. I mean, that's all I could say. And him also saying this is the one I really wanted to bring up. Seth getting hurt really affected the show. No, for sure, dude. Like that sucked. Once again, I am glad that you had a blast, Lou. I don't want to take away any of your enjoyment because you enjoyed what you enjoyed. I am glad that you're enjoying it. I hope you have a blast tonight at Evolution. But this Saturday night main event was just, especially from what I watched with the AEW show and then the NXT show, it was a 2 hour show that dragged to me. I don't want to get into too much like complaining or anything because once again, I sat up there and watched it and there were parts that I liked. But I'm going to give it to you, Grun. What do you think, man? What was your overall thoughts on Saturday night main event from your perspective?
From my perspective, overall, it was fine. I mean, like you said, like you had to see that. Okay, 4 matches, so it's like, all right, they're gonna get plenty of time, but at the same time, NBC most likely going to be a lot of ad reads. Deal with it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, if you really have a problem with it, I have a suggestion. Go on YouTube and watch all the indie promotions that pay their wrestlers a hot dog and a soda, and you won't get ad reads. If that really bothers you,
Wow, Mr.
okay.
Sarcasm, yeah. I don't care.
I I have to be because like, come on, guys. At this point, we should not be arguing. Oh, they should do like. I'm sorry. Is half of the world paying for WWE pay-per-views? Is half the world buying merch every single week from WWE? No. Well, then they got to get the money from somewhere. Sorry, guys. It's a major corporation. They need to make money. Money.
Yeah,
Anyways,
they made a lot of money on that
yeah,
last
yeah. Yeah, but anyway, he's like, overall, I thought it was an all right show. I think it could have been better if Seth Rollins, his match with LA Knight did not go the way it did.
Yeah, for sure. And now we're gonna sit up here and have questions like, was did they have to change the finish to the Goldberg match because Seth got hurt? I'm not saying that's what happened. I have no sources on that. No sources on that. This is purely speculation. Did they have to switch the Goldberg Gunther finish because maybe they did, and this is going to be a big maybe. This is going to be a big what if in the future at some point. Did they have Seth slated to cash in on Goldberg last night? Goldberg was over last night. He was in Atlanta, Georgia. It don't matter what we think about Goldberg. I don't like the man. I don't enjoy his wrestling, but I go with what I watch. He got big pops for his final match, and it would get Seth real quick heat if he cashed in on that guy when he was doing his retirement speech. That would be money to me. That just would. But yeah, I this show overall, you had a C minus show, and now I got to turn a C minus show and turn it into at least a D now because the Seth Rollins injury is going to send shockwaves through WWE storylines. So you not only did you have an okay show, you lost one of your long-term storylines to this show. The more I talk about Saturday Night Main Event, the more I was not a fan of last night's show. Once again, not saying it was just a complete mess front to back or it was a terrible production. It was a general WWE production, but I just didn't like a lot of what happened in the night. Voice some of your thoughts on Saturday Night Main Event.
Hey, kicked your dick in tonight or that night. They truly did. I watched both. I mean, I stopped watching AEW because I was like, how much more fucking wrestling can we have?
Right, right,
But
right.
if I was Tony, this is where I would plant my flag. And this is what I would be talking about, not fictitious things with Will Lotion spray coming out and being like, "Hey, bruv, I'm the best. There's nobody better." I've seen your moves on every fucking indie show. You know what? Isaiah Moore, I could implant him in your position and I might make a little money off of that. I don't believe Ocean Spray, but we're on Saturday Night Main Event. So Goldberg, I don't know if anybody know this, but during that jackknife, he about crippled Gunther. If
Oh,
you
and you
look at
almost
it,
dropped him on his neck.
looked like, yeah, he almost dropped him on his. What would we be saying if Gunther got injured in this? Maybe Saturday Night Main Events should stay where they were in the past and where they kind of died off. That's why they didn't do them anymore, because people
It felt
started.
so fun at first, voice. When they brought him back, it felt so fun at
It
first.
always feels fun at first, and then you look back at it and there's so many things wrong with it. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
House, can we bring back In Living Color today?
Hell no.
Exactly. Can we bring back Mad TV today?
No.
No.
No. So times have changed. We move
Yeah.
on. Yes. Would it have been great for it to just been a just amazing tribute shows and things like that?
Mm-hmm.
Most definitely. But they injected storylines that mattered into this. You put people in that everybody pays to see, and now their knee is in question. And
Mm.
that guy was holding something very important to
Oh my god.
storylines.
Oh my god.
This is getting too much. You should have backed off. You should have let AEW have their weekend.
Let them have their weekend.
You don't have to go in and pick on the special kid in class just because you don't like him. Oh, yeah. So he gets to hug the girls and touch the boobs. He's special. He's not doing anything. Who cares? Work your magic. Learn how to talk to him. Then you can be that guy without all the drooling. But when you're just fucking trying to pick on the person that's the weakest at their moment, you look like the asshole.
Mm.
And now you're putting the women's in jeopardy, because now you've put everything on their shoulders.
Oh
That
my god.
this PLE has to work.
Mm.
It just can't be okay.
It's
It
gotta be.
can't.
It's gotta be your show of the weekend. It has to
It's
be.
got to blow everything away. And
Because
well, and
because I'm sorry to interrupt you. I'm sorry to interrupt. Because you had this lackluster Saturday Night Main Event, and now the wrestling gods caught you slacking and took and possibly took Seth Rollins' ACL, MCL, whatever it is. The wrestling gods caught you slacking because you had this lackluster show. You lost one of your top guys in the weekend. I don't know, man. OG Tony saying the problem is WWE is trying to do too much. It's rushed. We've talked about this for like the last 2 weeks. We don't need these Saturday night main events. If you wanted to do NXT Great American Bash, cool, that's fine. I'm okay with that. That was a great show. I enjoyed it. It didn't feel like a FU show to AEW, because honestly, I know that NXT went head to head with AEW. I know that. They went in the same time slot. But the quality of what we saw with that Saturday night main event, that felt like the rushed, sloppy FU show. You know what I'm saying? We're going to come in and we're going to take all the attention because we're the WWE. And then we're going to also at the same time promote it and make it an entire weekend. And we're going to bring back Evolution. Evolution is selling like crap. And you guys are it looks like an amazing show. It looks like it. I'm so excited for Evolution Bell to Bell. I'm so excited for Evolution Bell to Bell. I don't care. I'm super excited. But seeing that these women are it's just being like trivialized, it feels like. And people aren't like, don't feel like this is like the women's WrestleMania or something like that. The way they're booking it is it feels like a women's SummerSlam or WrestleMania or something because the match quality, all of the matches that they're having, it's a great card. But you got caught up in the crossfires of what you're trying to do because I'm sorry. Listen, if you guys listen to this, I'm somebody who takes accountability. All right. If you guys listen to this show for the last few months, I have not had nice things to say about AEW. I have not had nice things to say about AEW. I sat down and watched that show. My son was like, Dad, I really want to watch the show. It looks like a good show. And you know what? I enjoy. Was it long? Yes. But man, it was a great, great show with a lot of great matches. Evolution has to, without a shadow of a doubt, be the show of the weekend, or this is going to feel like a failure weekend for WWE in my eyes. Just me. Just me. That's just me.
No, you're in the ballpark I'm watching the game at, because even the 2 hours that I watched, 2.5 hours I watched of All In, I was drawn to it more than I was drawn to NXT. And
I
I
had them both playing,
yeah,
one on my laptop, one on my studio TV.
yeah, I had All In on my phone, had NXT on my big television in the living room, and I was watching more of my phone. Uh, yeah, were we in the Discord talking? Yes, but the matches themselves, Samoa Joe, Jesus,
Oh
for
my God.
for him to go as hard as he went and then to sell as hard as he sold,
Yeah.
that was fantastic. And you know what, we had our discussion with the Death Riders and things like that,
Mhm.
but they're still captivating though. That's the thing.
Yeah.
They're still captivating. They still, because you're sitting there wondering when's it going to end, but they put on a great match. So you kind of got to be like, well, that was a hell of a match. And
Yeah.
then they progress their story. I think the rushed, like what OG's saying, being rushed in this manner, even Chat Chief has talked about it. Uh, it puts way too much on whatever, whoever's in that show. It puts way
Mhm.
too much, because now look, we're trying to give Jade a hell of a match. Now she knows she has to have a hell of a match.
Pressure.
She's not built for that yet. She's still got to be in the repair shop for someone to cultivate. And I still think if the Taker would put her under his wing, he
Yeah.
could mold her into something. And then you have Brittany coming up with that. Like, that would be epic. I would mark out for that tag team, the female Twin Towers. Oh my God.
Yeah. Man,
But
that'd be so good.
I just really, Evolution, I hope they all get that moment, because it's like an ECW show. You
Mhm.
know, you don't know if you're going to have another one, but you know
Mhm.
the one that you're about to have, it's got to make a mark.
You
And
got it.
those guys were all able to do it. Everybody involved in those shows. I think the talent that we have in the women's division, they're going to find whatever it is, and they're going to pull together, and this is going to be a knockout show, and it's going to force WWE, because we're the fans, we can change things. We
Yeah.
can force them to start adding, if they're doing 2 night events, 1 night men, 1 night women. It may not be the fanciest, it may not be the sexiest way to solve this issue,
Mhm.
but it's the most equal way to do it.
Yeah. Can we bring up Lou's comment, his last comment? Because I want to say something about that. I want to give my thoughts on that. He says, "Are we in a moment of AEW becoming the better show?"
Hell
Now,
no.
let me be delicate with this. I hear you. I hear you, Grun. I hear you, Grun. Let me be delicate with this though, because it's easy to look at a situation, especially with the fact that recency bias. AEW All in Texas was amazing. Until AEW shows me that they can tell you the stories and keep you weekly, weekly, because that's the heart and soul of your product. I know you guys blow it up for Double or Nothing, All In, Dynasty, all the other shows that you have. You got to keep me weekly, man, until you can make those Dynamites must watch, those Collisions must catch, because I'm telling you, not a lot of people, especially wrestling fans, not a lot of people are going to watch Collision on a Saturday. You know why? Because a lot of them might be at wrestling shows. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy. But until you show me on a week to week basis that you can consistently hold the stories that WWE has proven that they can hold and keep you there. Now, is WWE in a weird spot right now? Hell yeah, it is. Because that Saturday Night Main Event left a bad taste in my mouth. And I gotta tell you, after watching that AEW show, it's never tasted sweeter. It hasn't tasted as sweet as it has in a long time. But I also know when you take the beer goggles off, the lady don't look so beautiful, does she? Let's see what it looks like on Wednesday night Dynamite when they have to follow up. But I thought that was an interesting comment. But no, I don't think that we're in that moment. I think that they have an opportunity to maybe snatch the moment. But no, right now, absolutely not.
No, yeah, that's exactly where I'm at. You have to do it consistently. Mind you, guys, I am the only creator at IYH who did a weekly AEW show.
He sure did.
I did it for all the hours Collision did. They broke my heart, guys. They broke my
Ooh,
heart. We're
ugh.
mending fences though. All in. I will say, minus Will Ocean Spray, bruv. We would that would have been a fantastic show.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I enjoyed it. We got our guy from Puerto Rico, Daniel Garcia, is in the chat. He is there. He's saying, "Whoa, whoa, whoa! What did I do?" Which
Hold
one did
on.
that next
Well,
comment?
the comments started flying in.
Oh yeah, they sure did. He says AEW needs to place the right focus on the storylines week in and week out. Absolutely, Daniel Garcia. I agree with you. Then my man Antonio Fry, the chat chief, he says, I'm a prick too. Khan is a prick too. AEW fight forever. LOL. Listen, man, I guess I'll be a prick because they gotta show me, man. But did I enjoy that show yesterday? Hell yeah, I did. That was a great show. I enjoyed it. And I'll say this: if it makes you feel any better, Chat Chief, I do kind of want to watch Dynamite now. Like they do kind of make me want to. We'll see. We'll see. But listen, you can't say that we don't support or show no love to AEW because my son has got a whole 3 minutes worth of recap on AEW. We're about to do that here in about a minute here. But I want to get the fellas here their final thoughts here on Saturday Night Main Event and what you guys thought about the matches and things like that. We'll start with Grun here, man. What was your match of the night for Saturday Night Main Event, or maybe just moment of the night?
Uh, Honestly, there was no match of the night. That is my opinion. There was a moment of the night, and I think it's going to help bolster day of ticket sales for Evolution, and that is the Jade Cargill Naomi segment where
Yeah,
they
so
got
good.
into a fought or got into a fight, and then a special guest referee was named Bianca Belair, causing more drama, making
Yes.
it way more interesting. That even if you can't get tickets, you'll tune in to watch it on Peacock.
Yeah,
Hmm.
I liked that. And you know what? We're gonna continue to talk about like Goldberg and his segment getting cut short and everything. We have to talk about that. But when we saw that Bianca Belair came out in that great segment, it was excellent segment in my opinion with Naomi and Jade Cargill. It really sparked something in the Discord voice. Are we gonna see Bianca Belair turn heel tonight at Evolution?
That's a possibility. But can we go back to something? Grun, what'd you say about there was no match of the night?
On Saturday night's main event, I did not feel like any of
Well,
the
it's just
matches.
factually inaccurate on so many different levels. I don't understand why you wrote it like that.
All right. So you're making me pick. If I'm going to pick one, I will pick Randy Orton versus Drew McIntyre.
Okay,
It, I thought
fair.
it was good, and it set up a big celebrity match. at SummerSlam. Logan Paul is we're gonna see him get beat up by Jelly Roll. That'll be fun, and we're gonna see Drew McIntyre and Randy Orton duke it out on another pay per view.
Okay, good. Because I think you enjoyed that match. That would have
It
been
was
match of
good.
the night.
Yeah.
Now back to Bianca. I think that's where we're going. I
Mhm.
think we're
Mhm.
getting that heel turn. I think everything's going to boil into the Voices world in what I've been calling for since Jade, Naomi, and Bianca all intertwined.
It's
It's
been like 8 or 9 months you've been calling for this.
Yes. And I think we're finally there. I'm excited for this. I think this is going to be awesome. I would say that that was definitely a moment of the night. Just that whole segment between all three of them from start to finish. I love the setup. I love the way chaos ensued. And then I love the fact that they threw gas on the fire at the end of it. But my match of the night was that US title match. I
Okay.
enjoyed it. I loved it. I thought it did some great things. It showed Jacob is not afraid of tree and that he carries a big axe anytime he's around him. So I'm looking for that. And I loved Big Jim. I thought that was one of his best matches
Mhm.
that he's had as a singles competitor. And I can't wait to see more from him actually.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I think we could see more from Big Jim. I think he's starting to enter a very interesting lane for himself where he could eventually at some point become the US champion, but we'll see where that goes for sure. But all right, we'll talk about the last thing here before we'll go to break, and then we'll go to the AEW All in Texas recap with Elijah on. Let's talk about the end of the match there. With the main event for the World Heavyweight Championship, Gunther chokes out Goldberg. Um, I want to get your guys' thoughts. I'll start with voiceover here. First off, I want to ask your opinion. Do you think the finish might have been altered? And then I want to get your thoughts on Goldberg's speech getting cut short by the network.
Yeah, I do think it had to be a little altered. Um, it there throughout the Seth match up until the injury, Paul was doing his normal things of hugging the case and things like that.
Hmm.
Um, to me, that when Paul is like in the shot, the main cam shot, and he's
Yeah.
over there and he's like leaning and holding on to that and just watching, looking like a coach, like planning the next play. I
Yeah.
think they were building up for that. I think they were going to waste. Now, let me say this. I think it's a waste of a cash in. I think this is would have been nonsense if you would have handed that title over to him. And all these people saying Goldberg was smiling when he was taking those chops. Well, guess what? Here's a little secret. Gunther was taking 90% off of that when he was chopping that old chest. Because let's just be realistic. One of Gunther's big meaty paws would disintegrate the bones of old Skeletor over there. Fucking jeez, the internet is so insane. They are so fucking insane. They will try to prove any damn thing. Anyways, I I think it was altered. I also think that when the man can barely walk around and those knees are giving out, maybe attempting a jackhammer to a man of Gunther's size is not the best move. Even though it's
Mm,
one of your two moves, it's probably not the best one. And that that shoulder's gone, right?
yeah.
That
Yeah.
there's nothing left in it. To think that that spear actually took down Gunther, get the fuck out of here.
Okay. All right. Let me ask you this, voice. Let me ask you this. I want two different grades from you
Okay.
for Saturday Night Main Event. The first grade that I want from you is the fact that it was a lackluster show. We had two decent matches with Randy and Drew
Hmm.
and Jimmy and Solo for the United States Championship. We had a great segment with Jade Cargill and Naomi. That was great. Now we take into the consideration that You had Goldberg in the main event. It was leading nowhere. You had to contractually give him not only a retirement match, but a championship retirement match. Contractually, you had to give it to him. And then in the other match, you lost you lost one of your aces for an undisclosed amount of time that was heavily involved in a main event storyline. It was the main event prop that is Money in the Bank. I mean, you lost him, man. You might have lost him for anywhere between 10 to 12 months. Your SummerSlam main event is likely gutted and you're going to have to pivot. I want your grade for what Saturday Night Main Event was based on that. And then I want a grade based on if, God forbid, if Goldberg would have screwed up that jackhammer and broke Gunther's neck and put him out on the shelf for an undisclosed amount of time. So 2 different grades I'm asking from you.
Okay, so the overall show as it was, with everything that happened, because you can't really predict if somebody's going to get injured, and Seth, it was a normal move that he's always done.
Done it a million times. But
Yeah.
you did lose him long term, though.
You did. So I'm going to grade on a curve, and I'm going to give you a C. You're
Okay.
getting a C there. But if that would have happened, you're
2
failing.
main event challenges you're losing. 2 main event challenges you're losing.
You failed, and we need to talk about your AEW derangement syndrome and forcing things in because they're get over it. You would have made more money if you would have had that somewhere else, or even if you would have put it on a different day. Who cares if they AEW is doing what AEW is doing, and their storylines are for them and their fans. They legit, you guys retired somebody, and they, a guy who was just a few years younger or older, something like that you put a title on. Like, what are we doing? Are we trying to play like anything you can do, I can do better? Like, what is going on? What? I'm not understanding wrestling as of this month. July is a fucking weird ass month, parallel universe. I don't understand WWE this month.
WWE is doing some things that WCW was guilty of back in the day. And I'm not saying I still love me some WWE, but I'm like, it was a weekend that if you would have just done the NXT show, listen, I totally get the NXT show because the NXT show, you're getting your young guys reps, you're giving them a big opportunity to work in Atlanta, Georgia, and it's a great opportunity to do a Great American Bash. I get that. And you're going to have less chance of injury on your younger talent, and they're going to have a great show head to head up with AEW. Saturday Night Main Event was just nonsense. I mean, it was just nonsense, and the reason why is because like you could have told all the stories, did all the stuff that you was wanting to do on Saturday Night Main Event. All you had to do was highlight it on your social media. You could have told the stories. You didn't need the matches. Instead, we ended up, we don't know the amount of time that we're losing. Seth Rollins could have possibly, and did I not say on this very show that I am scared that Goldberg would hurt Gunther. And then look what happened. He damn near almost hurt Gunther. You know what I'm saying? So like it's just odd to me, most definitely. But once again, it was just one of those odd shows that I just don't know. I just don't know where you're going, man. I just don't know where you're going. Once again, Evolution is going to be awesome tonight. I'm super excited for Evolution. That's going to be good. But yeah, man, that was my thoughts on Saturday Night Main Event. You gave your thoughts, and we'll definitely have some more to talk about. Grun's going to be back here in a minute. While that's going down, we're going to take a break, pay a few bills, and then when we come back, we're going to have the AEW All In Texas recap with Olajuwon. Then we'll be back. We'll be giving you the fellas over here, my man Voice and my man Grun, giving you their predictions for tonight's Evolution.
Hello, everyone. It's the Pope Elijah Burke, founder and president of the Love Alive charity. I wanted to take this brief moment to share with you my charity's continued humanitarian efforts to positively impact the impoverished communities in and around the greater Jacksonville area. This cannot be possible without your support. If you'd be so kind, please take a moment to visit our website, love-alive.org, to learn more about the charity and its mission. Also, feel free to donate to our 501c3 organization that operates off of the donation of the public, which is you. Whether that be by website or via Cash App, $1 help makes a difference in the lives of others as we continue to positively influence many people by being the change that we wish to see in the world.
This is a recap of AEW All In 2025. So it started off with the Sons of Texas defeating Shane Taylor Promotions, and there was Big Boom AJ and the Conglomeration defeating the Callis family. FTR beat the Outrunners, and then the Ops retained their titles against the Death Riders plus Gabe Kidd in a pretty hard-hitting match. Samoa Joe was going crazy in that match. MJF won the Casino Gauntlet and punched his ticket to a future AEW Championship match. Dustin Rhodes finally won the TNT Championship, and honestly, what I thought was one of the best matches of the night. I think it definitely like, I didn't expect Dustin Rhodes to win, but having him win it feels like the right choice. Swerve and Ospreay become the new EVPs by beating the Young Bucks in arguably the match of the night. It was hard-hitting, back and forth. It was everything that you'd want in a match. Athena won the Casino Gauntlet in another great match that I think that, in my opinion, was a match of the night. I was fully locked in. The spots were great. Everything in that match was great. The contestants were great. I learned new faces. Got more familiar with just everybody in that match and how they wrestled, and it was just great. And I think the right winner, or the right person, won it too. Then the Hurt Syndicate retained against Jet Speed and the Patriarchy. Then Nick Wayne turned on Christian Cage, and then Cope was over here doing the whole pyro thing and then saved Christian Cage. But that's going to be interesting to watch and see how they reunite. And a shocking result, in my opinion, Toni Storm retained. And then, because after she hit those 3 Storm Zeros, I was like, okay, Mercedes kicked out and she's winning. But then she kissed her, then did the Avalanche Storm Zero. That was insane. That match was crazy too. Okada became the first unified champion against Kenny Omega in a hard-hitting match back and forth. And I think that's like the common consistency in this night, is that these are just great matches. Hangman is a new champ, beat Jon Moxley in a blood-filled match. Then you had Bryan Danielson coming out there, Darby Allin, Swerve, the interference of everybody else. This match was great, and I think it brought great emotion having Hangman win. And I think it was just time to take the title off of Jon Moxley.
Hey guys, welcome back to In Your House, and you guys just got the AEW All In Texas recap from our man Elijah. He watched the show from front to back, and he really enjoyed it himself. He also enjoyed NXT. It was a great day that we had, but there it was, Voice. I know you watched AEW All In. You heard Elijah's analysis, his recap. What did you think about AEW from your perspective, especially since we've been on the same page with AEW that we've just overall not enjoyed it? Where were you at?
Yeah, I thought they did a great job. Their storytelling was on point, and that for me is shocking because they have famously said that they don't
care about stories. They don't care about that.
They don't care about that. But last night you did. You made a true cowboy Texan a champion. That hasn't been something since 1996.
Wow.
So that's a little jab at the Dallas Cowboy fans out there. So I think AEW shocked the world, but I have to play devil's advocate with the forcing of this weekend for WWE in a
Mhm.
sense. Um, did we pull the South Park Michelle Obama? The bar is set too low. Do we need James Cameron to come go down there and pull it up? Because
Mm.
I mean, that's a question to be asked. Not trying to take away from anybody, because even though I bust his balls and call him ocean spray, uh, that match was great. The Young Bucks do what the Young Bucks do. You
Yeah.
can hate the Young Bucks. You can want to spit on them. You can want to yell at them, call them little weirdos. But watch a match of theirs of that magnitude. You and let me tell you something. If you do not have eyes on Swerve Strickland, you're blind. That dude
You've been praising him
is
for a long time, though.
yeah, I mean IYH has. We've talked about Swerve. There was many times I was trying to get in to even talk to him to have a discussion when I was doing the watch along.
Yeah.
But he proved so much last night. He proved not only is he a singles competitor to watch, that he can take another guy who is also another singles competitors to watch, and they can form a tag team and take out one of the most phenomenal tag teams to ever touch a mat. Again, say what you want about the Young Bucks, but there is absolutely, positively not a single wasted movement that comes out of that corner. Everything is timed, everything is perfect, everything is crisp. From a lock to a flying whatever the hell they came up with that week. The Young Bucks are annoying as shit. I
Yes, they are.
grant you that.
Yes, they are.
But it's one of those talents that they back it up. But Swerve definitely stole the night for me. His his way to tell a story while between those ropes is something to be praised. I think he gets it. He eats, he breathes, he sleeps wrestling. The man gets it. And the fact that they made Dustin Rhodes a champion,
Mm,
it's
that was good.
it
Like
was
I
great.
I felt that emotion.
It was great. You capitalized on the storytelling. The thing
Yep.
that you swore you weren't doing, and you capitalized on it. I would give
Okay.
them a B plus.
Voice. Okay, let me ask you one more question, and then we're gonna move on to evolution because I know you watched the show and you had your eyes wide. I can tell just by listening to you talk about it. You watched the show with your eyes wide open.
I did.
You're an ECW guy, bro,
I am.
through and through. What did you think about the Texas Death Match?
I
I got to give me your honest thoughts here. I have to know.
yeah, okay. Honestly, when it comes to those matches, I think that there can be a beautiful story told in a Texas death match. And
Mhm.
I think one of the best things about a death match, especially a Texas one throughout the history of wrestling, is it's a there's a death of something, not a legit death.
Mhm.
Storyline wise, there's a death. Um, he goes by Moxley now, right?
Yeah, he's Moxley.
Yeah. Um, so Mox, I think he's overdone it with these matches. If I'm going
Mhm.
to be honest, I
Okay.
think I think it's a crutch of his to keep himself relevant in
Mm.
in the fans' eyes. Um, I don't think he's that confident with the between the ropes. types things. And
Like
I
bell to bell, technical wise.
yes, and I honestly I don't think that he's that bad. I don't think he's the best, but I don't think that he's the worst either. I I don't know. I from just having gone through addiction shit and things like that, I
Hmm.
think I think there's a wound in Moxley that holds himself back. And I think these matches are a crutch for him. I'm glad that Adam Adam Page, right?
Yes, yes, Hangman. Yep, Hangman
Hangman
Page.
Page, that's his name.
Yep.
Uh, I'm glad he won. I think it was time for them to take the title off Mox and move forward from, especially from what I was reading, what I was hearing from the fans, and
Hmm.
out there on Nick Terdaro's show.
Hmm.
Um, but again, they did a good job. They told their story, but I would love to see Mox outside of death matches,
Yeah,
and relying on those types of things.
yeah, yeah. You said B plus. Is that what you said?
Yeah, I'm giving them a B plus on this one.
I'm with you. I'm going B plus. I'm going B plus. I thought it was a very very solid show. Very solid show. And yeah, it was recapped with my man Elijah. He's somebody who we're going to be relying on when it comes to NXT, when it comes to AEW, and I think that he is excited for that. So yeah, check out what he's going to be doing here on the channel. You guys heard his NXT minute from the Raw deal with House and O'Neil. Now we just had his AEW All in Texas recap, and yeah, look for more of that from him as the summer progresses. We'll see what happens once he gets back to school. He's playing football and stuff, doing kid stuff. We'll see how consistent he can be. But right now, at least through the summer, we'll be seeing those. But we have got to talk evolution because tonight is WWE Evolution. This is the second time they've done it. I believe the first time might have been in 2017. I could definitely look that up here in a second because I got to get my man Grunmeister's overall thoughts on tonight's show. Where are you at? I think we're all in agreement that there's a big, big microscope on tonight's show just because of the way the weekend has went for the WWE, and I think it has created a pressure. I'm excited for the show. I think it's going to be great bell to bell. But Grun, what are you thinking, man?
Overall, as I'm looking at the card, you have a no holds barred match between Jade Cargill and Naomi with Bianca Belair special guest referee. That's gonna be fun to watch. You have Io Sky versus Rhea Ripley. That should be a good match. You have Becky Lynch, Bayley, and Lyra Valkyria going on in a women's Intercontinental Championship match. That should be very good. Good. Tiffany Stratton defense against Trish should be nice to see. Tiffany get a win against Trish, sure. And then only two matches left. The JC Jane versus Jordan Grace for the NXT Women's Championship. That should be great, especially for
Mm-hmm.
those of us like myself who I've seen a decent amount of Jordan Grace. I haven't seen too much of JC Jane.
Yeah.
I know she was a tag team champion with Gigi Dolan when she was still with the WWE,
Mm-hmm.
and they would not put JC Jane in this position if they did not think that she would bolster the value of NXT and the
Mm-hmm.
NXT women's division. So I'm definitely curious to see how this match looks, especially since she's going to have Fallon Henley and Jasmine Nix in her corner. Probably the match everyone's going to be talking. Actually, I did forget the women's tag team fatal four way.
Yes.
Like
Yes.
that's I'm gonna guess. I'm gonna go on a wild guess here and see that's gonna be match of the night. That fatal
Okay.
I'm gonna say that's gonna be match of the night.
Okay.
And then the women's battle royal. This is probably where we're gonna see a surprise return. Maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Soraya, the former page of WWE, she
Mm-hmm.
is not under contract. There is no other. There is nothing that is going that can stop her from showing up tonight at Evolution, unless she did not want to return now. AJ Lee, same thing. There is nothing that stops her unless she doesn't want to show up.
Yeah.
So we already know that Kelly, I did see that she was invited to the show to sit ringside. She declined because she said it's
Ooh.
not the right time. Now
Okay.
she didn't make it sound like she's not interested in returning. She made it sound like she wants her return to mean something, and
Okay.
which I can respect.
Okay. I mean, Kelly, I'll say this, I was never a huge fan of Kelly. I really wasn't. I thought she was thrusted into a spot that at the time she wasn't ready for. But you know what? I appreciate the time that she was with the company. I know that she had, does anybody let me ask you this. Maybe you won't Grun, but maybe Voice will. Do you remember Caitlyn?
I do remember Caitlyn.
You remember Caitlyn?
Are you kidding? Caitlyn, she was in WWE the same time as AJ Lee, Paige.
Yep.
Like Caitlyn, I thought was completely underutilized, and
I liked Caitlyn. I
I
thought she
like
was
Caitlyn
good.
too.
I liked
I
Caitlyn.
like Caitlyn. I thought she was good. I thought she could be the future because like she was at the time you had divas and Caitlyn, while still kind of diva esque, still was fighting the system to have her own persona, have her own character, to
And she
be
was kind of a
different.
powerhouse too, if you
She
remember.
was, and she was pretty good as a powerhouse. Even if I bet WWE told her to hold back and bring because like her spear wasn't terrible. Her spear was pretty
I
good.
remember her spirit, yeah. It really felt like there was a lot left on the table for Caitlyn.
Yeah.
I don't know
Uh,
what happened there. Maybe she just didn't want
uh,
to do it anymore.
I think she's doing indies or just that. I don't remember what she's up to, but yeah, I mean, you know what? That's unfortunately that's kind of what happens.
Yeah, she was super talented. So like, I just brought her up because he just came to my mind when we were talking about Kelly because they were from the same era. But I do have high hopes for tonight's show, and I'll bring this up too because myself and Annie over on the Raw deal over on Wednesdays, we did predictions for tonight's Evolution, and I wanted to bring it up with you guys because like we all three of us agree it's got to be such a huge show. It's got to there's a lot of there's a lot of pressure on this show. I think bell to bell it's going to be really good. So I've already given my thoughts. If you guys want to hear my predictions on tonight's show Evolution, go back and check out the Raw deal with House and O'Neill. You can check it out on our YouTube, you can check it out on our Twitch, and now it's available on Spotify and on Apple Podcast. But I got to ask my guys here. We'll start with my man, The Voice, and we'll go down because I'm on WWE's website. I got their match card up. We'll start at the very bottom here, and that's the NXT Women's Championship match. JCJ and the champion goes up against Jordan Grace. Voice, who do you think, man?
I honestly think they're going to leave it on JC Jane.
Ooh, okay. Okay.
With me, Jordan Grace is the type of talent that you don't, for her to go to the main roster, you don't need her to hold any titles
Mhm.
in NXT. Would it be cool to see her run with a title? Sure, but it's not needed. Everybody knows of Jordan Grace. You already know that she's going to the main roster. It's just whenever they decide to do it.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I hear you on that. I do believe she's a talent that doesn't need the title. I was feeling in my mind, I'm feeling like JC Jane could be transitional, but I want to get Grunmeister's thoughts. Where are you at with this championship match? NXT titles on the line. JC Jane, Jordan Grace.
Uh, I'm looking at it and like Fallon Henley and Jasmine Nix. They're like if you know anything about Fatal Influence, they're going to play a part in this match. So the winner of this match will take on the TNA Knockouts champion, and I Masha Slamovich, I believe, is still
That's her. Yep,
Yeah.
Masha Slamovich. Yeah.
and TNA. I think they wanted to be Jordan Grace. At the
Hmm.
same time like I Jordan it is absolutely realistic Jordan loses here because you can sell it by Fatal Influence once again uses the numbers to their advantage. Mitch. Now it seems like they seem to be building some dissent between Fatal Influence, pushing Fallon Henley to be a singles competitor again.
Mm.
Um, I I'm gonna yeah, I'm gonna go with Josh. JC Jane retains.
Okay, okay. JC Jane retains the title. I think it would be a good swerve. Myself and Annie both said Jordan Grace, so I'm definitely going to be like, I really hope the Discord is active tonight because I really want to get everybody's thoughts in our Discord. We're up to 20 now. Next stop 50. I want to get you guys' thoughts in watching Evolution because I think this is going to be a really good show, and we're gonna move on to a match that. Oh man, I think we all know definitely is going to have major eyes and a microscope on it in a major way. That's the no holds barred match with special guest referee Bianca Belair, Jade Cargill versus Naomi. Voice, who do you think is going to win between Miss Money in the Bank and the Queen of the Ring?
Mm. Well, so if they didn't do what they did last night and add Bianca into this, my whole thing was going to be Jade wins this because she needs to win this.
Mm-hmm.
But Naomi goes out completely just demolished, blood, laughing. Because ultimately, she's got the case. Who cares?
Yeah.
She
Yeah.
just wasted Jade's energy. She took Jade's focus away from something. But now let's come to reality because Bianca was added.
Mm-hmm.
I think it could go similar to that. But I think Bianca turns completely on Jade. And I think this new faction that I've had in my head for so long starts to form. And you see Bianca and Naomi join together, but as heels. They've been leaving Easter eggs. They've been running that fucking commercial of the heels of WWE. And Bianca Belair is one of the first ones that they put on there.
Mm-hmm.
They have not stopped running that. I think that is one of their Wyatt signs of the fucking six coming back. I think that's what is happening. I may be wrong, but I've been saying this for 9 months. I cannot get off that horse. That horse has taken me this far.
Yeah.
And it seems like things are falling into place. We had the turn of Naomi. Naomi started going nutso. Um, we had the Jade being alone to fend for herself now. And now Bianca's coming in. So there's the missing piece of the puzzle. And hopefully my puzzle looks like what I've been saying.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I definitely have some thoughts because I'm gonna have to give some thoughts on this after Grun does, and I will, but Grun, what are your thoughts? Who's winning this match? Jade Cargill versus Naomi, no holds barred match. Bianca Belair is the special guest referee. Who do you got?
So the question that I got running through my head is, how do they make Jade look like a valid competitor against Tiffany Stratton at SummerSlam unless they are abandoning that and looking for a way to get out of this? If they are
Mm,
looking, I'm going to go with Jade winning. And I don't see a reason why Bianca doesn't get involved, because I feel you don't add her unless there's going to be some drama involved. Bianca
mm-hmm,
attacks both. I don't know. But if they are planning on taking Jade out of SummerSlam, Naomi and Bianca teaming up to take out Jade is the way to do it. Then you can sell Jade can't compete because Bianca and Naomi are now the bad bitches of WWE, and they had to take her out. So now we need to find a new competitor for Tiffany Stratton and have some sort of tournament or a fatal four-way match, whatever.
yeah, I think it would have to be a fatal four way if they did your idea, just because at this point, like once tonight is done, what do we got? Like 3 weeks until SummerSlam, like, and they're already having to pivot a lot with the Seth stuff.
Yeah.
So it's I don't know what they're gonna do. But I will say this though: when I did the Raw deal with House and O'Neil with Annie, I said that I think Jade needed to win this match. I said Jade's going to win the match because she needs the momentum going into SummerSlam as she approaches her match with Tiffany Stratton, the biggest match of her career by far. But now that you've added the element of Bianca Belair, I don't see why you don't just go ahead and pull the trigger and have, because you can do it where Jade looks good. I promise you can. Jade can come out of this thing looking great. She can totally annihilate Naomi. She can hit her with 2 or 3 of her finishers, and just try to get her up. Just because this is a heated rivalry, guys. This is a heated rivalry. So a pinfall is not going to be enough. She's going to want to try to, of course, hurt Naomi. So maybe she's going to try to, hit her with 2 or 3 jadeds, maybe. And then on the third jaded, when she's finally done with her, 1, 2, Bianca Belair, double birds right there in your face, big forearm taking you out, hitting you with that kiss of death. Then you roll Naomi over. You take Naomi's lifeless body, drape it over Jade's lifeless body. 1, 2, 3. F you. You never believed in me. You never backed me up. But you know who still stayed down for me no matter what? You know who had the decency to call me, show up at my parents' house when they wasn't there, and wish my man a happy birthday? Naomi did. You didn't care about none of that. Yeah, she's crazy as hell, but she's loyal. And I think that that's where the tag team starts between Bianca Belair and Naomi.
I love it.
Yeah.
You've just reiterated my story.
I know.
love it. And it works perfectly in this situation. Everything is lining up. They need to
just do it.
Just
do
pull
it.
the trigger on this. Yeah.
Just do it. Literally, I don't want to jump too far because there's still a lot of things to do. But I feel like if you pull that trigger, I got to at least give you a B for pulling that trigger, no matter
Yeah.
what happens throughout the rest of the night. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying, pull that trigger. Just do it. You got nothing to lose. You guys have been very formulaic. Things have been kind of stale lately. How do you rush things up again? Do it. Do it. We got our guy Nick in the chat. He says, "What's up, guys? What is up, brother? We appreciate you coming and dropping in. I know you enjoyed that AEW show, but we're talking some evolution here because we have a battle royal for the women's championship match at Clash in Paris. So whoever wins this one gets a title opportunity at Clash at Paris. If you guys want to just throw something at the wall, I'm totally cool with it. Just because I'm not for sure on like every single participant at how this battle royal is going to go. I'm going to start it with Grun. Who do you think is going to win this thing, bro? Who do you think is going to come out and get a championship opportunity at Clash in Paris?
Nikki Bella. I don't think they I hate it. I hate that I think she's gonna win. I want her to be eliminated first. I want whoever, anybody, please bring back Victoria and have her win. I'll be fine with that.
I love
But
Victoria.
it's
Met
like
her a couple times.
it's like I'll take Victoria. I'll take AJ. I'll take Paige, not Nikki Bella. Okay, because WWE, look, it is. Nikki Bella is so oversaturated. The Bellas are so oversaturated when it comes to WWE that I'm fine with Stephanie McCur winning. I know, Josh. You don't like Stephanie, and look, I am definitely seeing like, okay, yeah, she's solid in the ring, not a whole lot of substance behind her in reality, unfortunately. And you know what? Like, yeah, she did a move that people really like for the wrong reasons, and yeah, Devil's Kiss, and Booker T got it over. Like, congratulations, but
Don't sexualize us.
look.
Just don't do it.
It's,
I like Nick's comment
who
here. It's good stuff.
the hell was it that said, "Oh, they need to stop"? I can't remember what the comment was, but
I think it was it Mickey James talking about what the women were wearing?
she made a comment like that. That wasn't what
on LFG.
Yeah,
Okay.
that was but that wasn't the comment. I don't know what I Get it. I can't even remember the comment. It wasn't important then. Because you know what? You got to get attention on the women's division. And does sex appeal help? Absolutely. But at the same time, guess what? I lost interest at 15 in the women's division because that's all it was, sex appeal. You know,
Yeah,
this
there's a
industry,
ceiling on
yeah,
that.
right now, this is not that. Right now, this is not. Does sex appeal exist? Sure. But at the same time, they put on great matches. Just
Yeah.
so like you draw them in and then you get them to stay. That's the plan. But yeah, Nikki Bella is gonna win. Please tell me I'm wrong.
He's like, somebody please tell me I'm wrong here. All right, man. We have got the women's battle royal here, man. They get an opportunity for a championship shot at Clash in Paris. Voice, what are you thinking, man? Any ideas?
On this one, I really don't know. I mean, it makes sense for the Nikki Bella because WWE has a weird boner for her.
Oh, they love her.
I don't understand it. I could see Stephanie winning it. They definitely have. They want to push her. They want to get her in as many households as possible. Um, Grun's not interested in losing his virginity.
Ugh. I'll
I
get you,
like
Lou.
that. And Nick, you know me. No, you don't know me. So on that one,
He's like, you know,
so
you don't know.
you don't know that one. We're not even going to go any further into that one. But anyways, I this is the one match I'm just not really. I know I should care because there's some type of opportunity and
Yeah,
it
yeah.
affects the storyline, but the reason I don't care is because I see exactly what Grun's saying. I
Mm-hmm.
think they're going to give it to Nikki because it's going to be over in Paris. It's not Clash of Paris. Is anybody really like, oh my fucking, I cannot wait to get home to watch Clash of Paris? Rah! No, no one is. And if you are, and you, ooh, I fucking love it. They're going over. Shut up. Shut up. The world is tired of people like you, and you just need to just stop. Not everything needs to be great and grand just because, oh, we're going to Paris. You know what? It's going to be a bunch of people over there hating you. The fact you're over there wrestling. Oh, look at these Americans coming in to wrestling. Fuck off. No one cares. Just give us, if you're going to give us Nikki, just fucking release it already. Release the fucking winner. Let us know so we can just use this one to see big moves and if you're bringing anybody back. If they do bring back AJ Lee, though, I'm going to be super excited.
Oh, I'll be, yeah, that'll be, whoo.
Yeah.
I've been calling for her for months now. You guys have too. The household has been calling strong. But yeah, for some reason, I got to go with Grun on this one. It's so, I mean, I'm not that you picked it, but the fact that the insanity that they would go with this pick because of their fucking obsession with these. What the fuck did Vince do to these twins backstage that they get this fucking card for so long? Jesus
Oh my
Christ.
God.
Look,
It's like a Trish Stratus card.
here's the only thing that I can think that was happening. Backstage, Nicole and Brianna, my guess, yeah, because I don't think Nikki and Brie did anything. I think it was Nicole and Brianna. They fought to change the women's division. They were the sacrificial lamb for whatever the hell it was, and somehow it got Paige, it got Becky Lynch, it got Charlotte Flair, it got Sasha Banks, it got Bailey on WWE TV. And as much as you hate it, Alexa Bliss too, Carmella.
I remember Carmella, yeah.
Yeah. And I don't even know who else was considered a major competitor at the time, but somebody had to be the one to speak up for the women's division. My guess is that Nicole and Brianna were the two front runners, especially with how much time they were getting on TV.
Hey, that is fair, man. Okay, so
We're gonna, before you go
go ahead.
in,
Go ahead.
Grun, we're gonna put a pin in yours, and we're gonna discuss more of that on Monday.
Sounds good.
Ooh.
Because I don't know about that one there, bud. I don't think those two said a word. I think they just allowed shit to happen. But House, sorry I cut you off. I would allow
You're
you to go.
good, man. You were good, man. Check out everything that they do on Mondays. That's Window Liquors Raw Preview Review Show. Most definitely check it out. And they're going to put a pin in that one. But I said that Stephanie Vaquer is going to win this one. And I now that you guys have brought in the thought that Nikki Bella could win, because that's not a thought that I had previously had before. Now I'm afraid.
Yeah.
Now I'm
Yeah.
afraid. Like I'm worried. I'm worried. But I'm gonna just for the sake of, because you guys had that thought, which isn't a bad thought. I hear exactly what you guys are saying. I'm gonna stay with Stephanie. I'm gonna stay with Stephanie Vaquer and say if she can get herself a possibility. Now, here's my issue with it is that that's going to cause an issue for me. And here's why. I'll explain why. I like Stephanie Vaquer. I think she's very talented. I think that her, whole La Primera thing is good. I understand the great history that she has, in lucha libre, Mexican wrestling and whatnot. But it's going to be tough because you have talents such as Julia, who's now the Women's United States champion. You have talents like Roxanne Perez, who's now one half of the women's tag team champions, and part of the Judgment Day. And then you have Lyra Valkyria, who's competing for her second women's Intercontinental Championship, and she's mixing it up with Bayley and Becky Lynch. What makes Stephanie Vaquer so special that she gets to jump the line and be able to compete against a Io Sky or a Rhea Ripley or possibly a Tiffany Stratton or somebody like that, because we don't know, they haven't specified which title it's going to be, unless she wins it and goes back to compete for the NXT championship, which that would totally be like, man, I hate that, because why would you take your championship opportunity and go back to a title that you've already won? You know what I'm saying? So, and damn it, Chat Chief.
He's full of dad jokes. He's got dad
He's
jokes
got it.
out the ass, man.
I love it, man. I love it. But yeah, I'm gonna stay with Stephanie Vaquer. But
I would
once
too.
again, for me, that is going to cause other problems. So maybe they'll pivot and do something else. But we'll see from there. But we do got to move on because we have the WWE Women's Tag Team Championship Fatal 4-Way. Is now officially confirmed here. It's finished up here. The card is final because when myself and Annie did it, it wasn't finalized. So now we have the Women's Tag Team Championship Fatal 4-Way. Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez, the champions, the Judgment Day, against the Kabuki Warriors, Asuka and Kairi Sane, Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair, and Soruka and Zarya. This could possibly be a really great match, but Grun, who do you think is going to win it?
So, I gotta be honest. The team I'm going for is Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez. I think it means more for them to win, especially if they are gonna go. The Dom is going to start calling Roxanne his side piece. And it's gonna be Liv Morgan that's gonna be tossed out of Judgment Day. If that is the route they are going, then Roxanne and Raquel need to win.
Okay. No, that's fair. I think that's the safe bet. I said that very thing on Wednesday, that I think that's the safe way to go, but I had a different thought. We'll talk about that in a second because we got to get the voices' thoughts on this Fatal 4-Way for the Women's Tag Team Championship. That's Judgment Day, Kabuki Warriors, Bliss and Flair, Soruka and Zarya. Who do you got?
I gotta go, and it pains me to say, much like it pained Grun to say, the Bellas. But this, I think the less friends, I think they're giving it to them. Charlotte Flair.
That's hilarious. That's crazy you're picking that.
Well, I don't want to, but
I know you don't.
I think the people backstage, yes, do a lot of us fans, and I'm talking to you fans. I find that we find the good and the greatness in between the ropes. Creative has a hard time telling those stories.
Mm-hmm.
So we develop our fandom over them. So I think this is the lazy way right now, because this, as much as I don't want to admit it, this tag team is picking up momentum in fandom. and creative is like, oh God, people
It's
are gonna
working. It's working.
yo. So they're gonna pull the trigger way too quick, and then they're gonna
Yeah.
get sweating in the strip club, and you're gonna have puddles on your sweatpants because you couldn't just hold it in. Maybe wear a jean so you don't go too quick. Sweatpants aren't the reason, or they are the reason. Anyways, so what I think needs to happen is they're going to put it on to these two. I don't know why. I don't really think Sol Ruka and Zarya, I don't think they're going to give it to them because I think there's a split to be happening with those two.
Maybe.
And it, God, I don't want this to happen. But I even think even having Raquel and Roxanne retain and then going the route Grun's saying with Dominic calling her a side piece, I think that's lazy because Dom can get that heat without doing that dastardly deed.
Right.
He's able to pull that in. But again, Grun, they are the laziest fucking writers when it comes to the women's division.
Mm.
So,
Unfortunately.
you know, I just, if you go that route and they retain, I think what needs to happen is as a collective, Judgment Day need to be really hyped on Roxanne.
Mm-hmm.
And then that way, when Liv does come back, everybody's stoked about Roxanne, which that gives somebody like sewer rat Liv. She's like, man, I want the cheese. And everybody's like, no, Roxanne got the cheese. She's like doing really good. And she's like, yeah, fuck that shit. I'm about to hit the wall. And man, so I think that's what's happening. It's if you go that route though, I think that would be really fun because you're building up Roxanne and you're building up Raquel too, because then the question is going to become, where does Raquel's allegiance align? Does she
Ooh.
stay with the young talent that has pushed her and got her to keep the gold, or does she go with the friend who got her to the dance?
That's a good side story. I like that a lot. That's really, really good. I'll keep mine short and simple in this way. I think it's going to be Charlotte and Alexa. I think it's going to be Charlotte and Alexa just because the way they're lining it up. So the way they're lining it up, I'd say Charlotte Alexa. The safe pick, just retain with Roxanne and Raquel. Risque, so Ruka and Zarya. Go with, if you want to go with something different but consistent, Kabuki Warriors. But all in all, I'm saying they're gonna go with Alexa and Charlotte. And if you want to hear my reason on that, just go earlier to the episode. I talked about it. So
Yeah.
so
And also the Discord does have all Khan puts all the links when the shows go live in the Discord. So you can always go back to
yep.
that catalog and check those out too.
Most definitely. Most definitely. But we got to move on to what, in my personal opinion, I think has high potential to be match of the night. I'm super excited for it. It's for one of my favorite titles, whether it be the men or the women, but I'm just talking about the history of the Intercontinental Championship as a whole, as we have a triple threat match. The women's IC titles on the line. Becky Lynch, champion, goes up against Bayley, and the first ever women's IC champion, Lyra Valkyria, Grun. Who do you got, man?
I went back and forth on this between Lyra and Bailey because I don't think Becky's walking out with the title.
Mm-hmm.
I think Bailey winning makes more drama and can be the thing to push Lyra to the next level. I'm going with Bailey.
Bailey. Okay. Bailey is a good pick just because Bailey right now, because of the way she presents, like we're having that discussion with Charlotte Flair about like, oh, she has to have humility, she has to have her ego checked, she needs to go to the mid card and be a tag team with Alexa and how she deals with that. Bailey is somebody that has always just been, you give her something and she's gonna work with it. It's never like an ego thing like that. She's just, okay, you want me to do this? All right, I'll try to make it to work the best I can, and that's just how it's always been with Bailey. So Bailey being in the mid card honestly feels perfect. But voice, who do you got in this triple threat match for the women's IC title?
Oh, I think the man walks out because
Okay.
her husband just injured himself, so the man's got to bring home the bacon. So you got to keep that title on her till they know exactly what they go into, surgery, whatever. Just got to
Mhm.
make that money, Grun. Got to make that
Yeah.
money. But I
Yeah.
would say Bailey, I will say this. You guys are hitting every note with Bailey. Bailey is that Swiss Army knife. Bailey is that one to take the 5 minutes that she is
Mhm.
given, no matter what. If she's hugging, if she's ding donging you, if she's just getting pissed off, or if she's just laughing with a bunch of girls that she's started a coalition with.
Yeah.
Bailey knows what to do in front of that camera. I think what's going to happen is Becky wins this, and then Bailey and Becky have another match without Lyra. And then Bailey gets that win, takes the title off of Becky, and then we get the Lyra uh, uh, Bailey feud
One
because I
on
think
one. Yeah.
that will carry us after SummerSlam. That will give us some story, some meat to that women's IC title, um, with a nice blood feud between those two. I think a nice, at least give me 3, maybe 5 matches with them until
Mhm.
Lyra takes it off of her. And I don't care if they're back to back on a whatever night you want to throw them on, or if it's a PLE. But just give me something that means something with these two when you do link them up, because ultimately it's going to be Bailey who's going to push Lyra to that next level out of the nest. Baby bird's got to fly,
Mhm.
and Bailey's going to have that whole game plan for her, um, and a huge win over Bailey for an IC title. Um, that means something in the women's division today.
You are right. You are right. Great points. And you guys, both of you have made me more excited for this match than I was before. One of the reasons why is because we all have different picks. We had Grun, who is saying Bailey. We have you, who is saying Becky. I'm saying Lyra. I think the Bird Lady is going to come out of this because I feel like that this feud was designed to elevate Lyra Valkyria. Now, can she still be elevated without winning tonight? Absolutely. But something in me is looking at the story, and I'm looking at the bitter hatred between Becky Lynch and Bailey that goes back. These are two women that are considered, two of the four horsewomen. And I just think that amongst the chaos, the hatred that these two women have for each other, Lyra can take advantage and be elevated, and she'll be able to call herself not only the first ever women's IC champion, but the first ever two-time women's IC champion. So I love this match. I'm excited even more because we all had different picks. That's going to be so good. And once again, for me, that has match of the night potential for sure. But we got to move on to one of the two women's world championship matches. I mean, when we talked about it on Wednesday, it really wasn't, moving any needles. Just being honest with you guys. But I gotta ask my guys here, and I'm gonna start with Grun. WWE Women's Championship match: Tiffany Stratton champion against Trish Stratus. Who do you got?
Tiffany Stratton next.
Period. 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 That's it. That's all that needs to be said. Voice. I mean, whatever, bro. What do you think?
I was gonna say the same thing. I'll give a little more in depth, I guess, since Grun's just fucking running out of the stadium. It's like he went into a full stadium of people and dropped a word that we're not supposed to say, and then
And then
ran
left.
the fuck out.
Just
It's
left
like,
Yeah.
out.
there you go, Josh. You're next. So I think Tiffany wins this. Um, honestly, Trish, for the career you've had, that's fantastic. I'm happy that I got to watch it, from you being a manager to you being a influential woman in the women's division.
Mhm.
But in this day and age, I feel that the interjection of Trish into this specific storyline is wrong. You're taking spots from somebody else. You're not, in my opinion, you're not the draw that you once were.
Mhm.
Yes, will you get the nostalgia dollars? Most definitely. But the fact of the matter is that we're trying to push Tiffany Stratton's reign into something that is digestible by everybody. So it's like this her first reign, I think, needs to be the thing that they talk about during her fourth reign.
Mhm.
Um, and for me as a fan, an opponent like Trish doesn't do that for me. I'm get all the happy dollars and all the good feelings and warm insides and all the boner poppins you need to in this match. But for me, this is like hitting the emergency brake in the middle of what looks like an amazing card.
Yeah, it's forced. It's forced. It's Tiffany Stratton. We all across the board between you two fellas, myself and Annie, we're all saying Tiffany. This one's not gonna be fun, man. This is gonna be just them, because they have that common core respect for each other. We got Nick real quick saying, was Trish all of your first wrestling crush? I feel like she's false advertising. I was a Lita fan myself. Listen, this is not
I
like
like this question.
I do, but
It
I
is.
listen. This is not the Trish bashing club or anything
No,
like this. But I will say this: she was not my first wrestling crush.
Uh-uh.
She wasn't at
mine
all.
was Lita. I'll admit mine, like you, Nick. Mine was Lita. I mean, like I was not offended by seeing Trish. Trish was gorgeous and still is gorgeous today. I like Maria too. Tori Wilson, Mickey James.
Mickey James was my first wrestling crush.
All right.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, Mickey James was really the one, and it was during those, informative years, if you know what I mean. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, it was definitely Mickey James. She's the one that I was like, oh man, let me get the poster in my room. You know what I'm
Dude,
saying?
I love it. I love it. And what I love the most is the chat chief. Chat chief, if I had this meme, do we just become best friends? Because he is hitting on mine. Mine, I'm going to say, was Sunny.
Oh man.
It
And then
was.
everything she became. But I'm not judging, because during Sunny's day, she was beautiful. I mean, I think my biggest thing, and if we're being candid here, just being honest, my biggest thing with Trish is, I'm not a huge fan of like the enhancement surgeries. You know what I'm saying? Like that I don't personal preference. I like, if you want to pull back the curtain about what old Uncle Con likes, I like all natural, and I'll leave it at that. So I'm just not a fan of that. But like, yeah, it wasn't Trish Stratus. She was not my first wrestling
No,
crush.
no. I mean, the way I could see a lot of people being that. A lot of my friends, that was their first too. But
Yeah.
I was a deviant back in the day, and I was shown things I shouldn't have been seeing at 11, and being like, that makes me feel weird.
Yeah, bro. I get it. Listen, I respect Trish, and for a bit,
This might
Trish
be
is
comment of the night. I'm
oh wow.
sorry, House.
All of Cell Block C is having sunny days.
Yeah, we looked that up. She still has.
You earned that, Nick.
She still has. What is it?
Like 17
15.
years, bro.
Yeah. She got sentenced 17 years. She's on
Damn.
in 23. So yeah, she's got 15 years
Wow,
left.
15 years left.
Oof.
Wow. That's tough business,
Sunny
man.
day.
No. Nick, you earned that yowie wowie, man. But yeah, that was great. I enjoyed that question. That question from Nick, man. Was he? She wasn't. So
No.
but respect her. I do got a lot of respect for her. But at the same token that I got respect for her, not excited for this match in the slightest bit. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm glad we kind of kept that a little bit short. Had some laughs in there, but I definitely didn't want to break down that match analysis in the slightest bit. Not excited for that. Let's go to what's probably going to be the main event of the evening. That's the Women's World Championship match. Champion Io Sky versus Rhea Ripley. This one, where we've seen them match up against each other time and time again, I feel like this match here, specifically between these two, is polarizing because it does have SummerSlam implications as far as who's going to be the champion going into SummerSlam. But I've got to ask my man Grun, who do you think is going to win this match? Is it going to be Io Sky? Is she going to retain? Or will Rhea Ripley become champion once again?
I feel like the correct answer is Rhea Ripley. I'm going to go with Io Sky.
Okay.
Because I do think Rhea is close to facing the problem of being oversaturated in WWE. I think Io wins here. And look, if you're not sure what to do with Rhea, like I don't know. There's you probably come up with something for her to do to enhance Stephanie, Julia. I don't know, but do something else with her because I Asuka, like either Asuka is coming back to push up Kairi Sane and Io Sky,
Mm-hmm.
or she's coming back to to just be the Kabuki Warriors again. So I like the Kabuki Warriors thing. Like I'm honestly thinking that it's a viable bet that they implode either after tonight or tomorrow night on Raw.
Okay. Okay. I like what Chat Chief is saying here. EO wins Stephanie versus EO at Paris. Listen, I said it on Wednesday and I'm saying it again. I got no problem with seeing EO Sky versus Asuka at SummerSlam. I don't think that's where they're gonna go, but I would love to see that match. Voice, what do you think is gonna happen, man? Where are you at? We have Io Sky champion. It's been a weird reign for her since she won it. It's been up, it's been down. She had a few great matches before WrestleMania. Then after that, she's just been struggling to get TV time a lot of these weeks. But where are you at, man? We got Io Sky, Rhea Ripley, World Heavyweight Championship on the line. Who do you got?
Well, I got EO, who I want to win, but I think they might. See, this is what I hate about creative. When was the last time we've had a storyline in which one wrestler never got over another wrestler?
Never got over another wrestler.
Never. You mean like never beat
Never
him?
beat them. Never, like, anytime they faced them.
That's a good question.
I mean,
I would have. I'm not gonna lie. I'd have to look that up.
so one of the last ones. So one of the big ones I remember is that apparently every up until WrestleMania 25, Shawn Michaels always beat the Undertaker. Every time they faced one on one, Shawn Michaels won. I remember that.
Sorry, I was laughing at Chat Chief. He
Yeah.
said Io Sky has a Roman Reigns a schedule.
Well, I mean, look, the title. There are multiple ways to make a title important. Lots of defenses is absolutely one of them. Another way is to keep the title rarely on TV or rarely exposed, and that was so when it does show up, it's a special moment.
Okay. So going off of even with the just go Shawn Michaels the Undertaker, why wouldn't you play in that world and have that possibility in the women's division to where maybe maybe she can just never get over, maybe Rhea can just never get that win when it matters against Io, and you continue that until it gets to a point to where boom, she finally gets that win. And why wouldn't you save that for like a Mania or something like that?
Yeah.
But I feel that they're hyping it up. They've been talking about the fact that she's never gotten over on Io, never gotten the win. So I think that's where they're going. I think they're gonna pull the trigger. They're gonna give her moment because they think, oh, everybody thinks they're oversaturated. But if we go with this story angle in which all you can do is be happy that she finally beat Io, are we though? because that's like going to the high school basketball tryouts and you see the kid who's 6'8" dunking on the kid who's 5'2", and they're like, "Man, this dude's going all state. I'm telling you, I'm telling you." It's like, well, is he? Because he's just there's midgets around him, so of course you can just dunk on them. What are you talking about?
All right.
So I honestly, I think what they need to do is they need to hold on to that idea in this story, because it's something you're going to be able to go back to when you need to. You don't need to right now. What you need to do is pull Rhea back a little bit, and slapping a title on her is definitely not the way to do that. But I feel that's where they're going. But if I want my personal pick, I think it's going to be Io.
Gotcha. This is where I think they're hitting a strange place because you have SummerSlam, which we all know is one of their big shows. It's one of their big mainstream, bring in all the celebrities and make it to where everybody, you want everybody to watch this. Like, it's that time of year where you want everybody to look at it like a mania. You know what I'm saying? This is one of your big four right here with Royal Rumble, with WrestleMania, and then with Survivor Series. So SummerSlam, they're gonna have to do some big things. I feel like they're gonna go with the main event, or with the mainstream appeal of Rhea Ripley going into SummerSlam as champion. Now, I say that, but also we're hitting a strange spot with Rhea where they don't know what to do with her if she's not getting involved in the championship. And that's when you start hitting Charlotte Flair levels of dangerous. A lot of us love Rhea Ripley. We're huge fans of her, and we enjoyed her rise and her come up. It's to becoming mommy and everything that she's become. But now you kind of hit a spot where you've plateaued with her, where her only singular focus is just winning the title. You don't have anything else for her? I mean, you got to figure it out because we talked about oversaturation earlier in the show, and I believe Rhea Ripley's name came up, and that's where we're at. We're at a dangerous spot where you're oversaturating one of your top stars, where you got to figure out a way to pull her back, and to pretty much to parrot what Voice said, putting the title on her is not gonna do that in any way, shape, or form. So I think that Rhea Ripley's going to win tonight, but I don't know if it's the best move.
Fair, fair.
So that's where we're at with it. That is our evolution predictions here. It was a great show. I really enjoyed the show just because across the board there was so much to talk about. We talked some AEW, a little NXT Saturday Night Main Event, and then we did a prediction for Evolution. Really appreciated when my guys come in, give me their time, and we have some great episodes. And I always got to show that respect by throwing it over to my man, the blue-eyed villain, Grunmeister here. Where can they catch you and everything that you're doing?
You can catch me at twitch.tv/Grunmeister, also on YouTube under the same name. I stream every Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern, SmackDown review preview, talk everything WWE. This past recording, I actually went over SmackDown in about 25 minutes because I also wanted to get through the entire weekend of WWE wrestling because screw AEW.
Oh, the AEW hate is here from our man, the Grunmeister. He covers all things SmackDown. He's a WWE guy, ladies and gentlemen. And guys, I'm going to give it over to our man, Voice, here in a second. But, Voice, we do have a little bit of, we're kind of fooling around with some things and stuff that's coming up on Thursday. Thursday, we're going to be watching the second half of November to Remember 1999. But, we can't say anything right now, but we're kind of in talks right now to possibly get on another big guest. We've had Bill Alfonso, we've hosted Sandman, and we've hosted Sabu, one of his final interviews. We can't say any names yet until we get it all dialed in, but we've got another possible big name coming to the ECW watch along. Once again, we got to keep that concealed until things are tied down, but I got to throw it over to our man Voice, tell him everything you do, and then give them a little bit of talk about what we do on ECW.
All right, so everybody, come check us out. We do a lot. First off, let's start off with what you're going to hit with tomorrow. tomorrow at 7 p.m., it is one of the best shows growing. It's the Monday Night Raw preview review show where me, the blue-eyed villain Grunmeister, and the Chaos Goblin himself, Kevin Calloway, we talk Monday Night Raw, and we invite you to join us and have some fun. We talk 3 subjects, and we invite you to give your opinions, just like you did here. We invite you to do it there, and that's on Mondays at 7 p.m. Outside of that, I go into this fun little world called ECW. It's the ECW Watch Along, and that's every Thursday at 5 p.m. Come join us. We have a blast there. It's a bunch of fun, and it's an ECW watch along. We usually have a segment before during our normal shows. These two that the one we did and the one we're about to do, those are our special shows where we get captivated with the storyline, so we want to follow the pay-per-view. So that's what we did on this one, because we're going to go right back into the storyline, because that's what we love. That's me and Howse, and we have fun. We invite you to come and have that fun. Now, there's so many things we got planned coming up. There's talks of an auction, there's talks of guests, there's talks of all these things. But what you need to do is you need to be a part of that Discord, because that's where you're going to get every single drop, especially what Howse is talking about now. Because once we get confirmation, our Discord is going to be the first ones to know it. And they'll probably
First.
know it. They'll know it for a day before everybody else, because we're going to have to make all these things, all these announcements, make sure people are there. But we want you to be a part of it. So the Discord is very important to the heartbeat of IYH and the household and keeping you connected. It's also a way to connect with other fans of the show and
Yes.
outside the show, because you don't know who you're going to meet in there and what possibilities you can create. So join us there. And for my last bit of information, Drew McIntyre. You don't have to change your last name to Fatu. You just need to be interesting.
I love it. That is our guy, the voice, Josh Joseph. Check out all the things that he's doing. I'm really excited with the possibility of what could be happening with the ECW watch along as the rest of this month goes on. Because once again, possible big guests. One of the guys who was one of the voices of ECW. That's all I can say. That's it. You take whatever you want from that. That's it. That's all I'm giving you. But once again, we'll have some more information once we get things confirmed. But then we have the second half of November to remember 1999. This coming Thursday. Join us for that. I love what we're doing. I love what we did on this past episode of the Sunday House Party. This has been a good one, in my opinion. Everything discussed. And we had to, because it was a big wrestling weekend. So this was another exciting episode. As far as what I got going on, like I said, make sure you're checking out all things that's going down on Wednesday. We talk all things Monday Night Raw. That is the Raw deal with Howse and O'Neil. We had Annie return after a few weeks of hiatus with some illness, getting engaged, going to the Electric Forest and finding herself there. A lot of awesome things. We were happy to have her back. She gave some of her thoughts, her evolution predictions. And then I'm breaking some news here, ladies and gentlemen, because one of the reasons that I got involved in the wrestling business is because of a man by the name of the right hand of God, Sam Knight. And he's one of my best friends in the business and one of my best friends, period. I consider him a brother, like I do the fellas on this show. And he's a big piece of what IYH became and how we were able to really get access to some of the amazing guests that we've had and some of the backstage opportunities that we've had. It's come through my friend Sam Knight. And if you guys know anything, if you guys are an OG listener of In Your House, you know that I have managed this man through some of the best moments of his career. Well, my man is going on his heel. He's midway through his last year of wrestling. November will be his final appearance at the end of November, the Sam Knight last ride. But he's been wrestling and really making memories for himself this last year. And man, I'm proud to say that on the 19th. This coming Saturday, he will be in Shelbyville, Indiana. He will be at New Era Wrestling in Shelbyville, Indiana, wrestling against one of the most respected guys in the area, and that is Damian Michael Cole, DMC. It's going to be two vets going at it. Damian Cole, Sam Knight, one last time with the director, Hollywood Howse, at Sam Knight's corner. That's right. I'll be returning, making my New Era debut to be there with my man, the right-handed God, Sam Knight, for his final appearance in New Era Wrestling in Shelbyville, Indiana. Make sure you go check that out. Tickets are available right now. It's going to be a fun night with a lot of great wrestling, and you'll get a chance to, if you're in that Shelbyville, Indiana area, you'll get a chance to appreciate the greatness of Sam Knight one final time. It's going to be great. So yeah, that's all the things going on. We'll talk more about that as the week goes on. But guys, I'm back and I'm happy to be announcing that type of stuff. I'm happy what we're doing with the ECW watch along. You know, we're really starting to amp up again. The Discord is hot. We're back on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Great creators I get the opportunity to work with. I always have to say that I really enjoy my brothers in creation here and sister Annie, that we do this together. You guys give me your time. It's always truly appreciated from the bottom of my heart. It's all part of the work. And that's HOWSE, and the W stands for work. So for the Grunmeister and for the voice, Josh Joseph, and the whole team here at In Your House, I'm Olakan, the Concept House, here to tell you and remind you to tell a friend, to tell a friend, to tell a friend to hop on this bandwagon. Get on or get gone, because the household is still going mighty strong. You guys have a great day. Join the Discord. Peace.
Yeah. In your house with Okan. Hey, Okan, in your house. Hollywood in your house. Hypocrisy's head in the clouds. Curating all kind of loud. Wrestling in front of the crowds. Paragon's holding it down. Anybody can get it. Josh Joseph standing on his decisions. He is the voice. There is no choice. Wisdom voice in your house making wrestling noise. Moving fast just like cruiserweight action. In your house is the perfect distraction. Pumpers in your ears when you in traction. Get this work with some wrestling action. Swole.